Good day, my name is Scott Kinney with Discovery Education, and this is our One Idea series. Today I am joined by a national figure around education, Dr. Darryl Adams, the superintendent of Coachella Valley. Dr. Adams has been superintendent for 6 years, and somewhat, I believe, as a second career for you. You actually started as a professional musician, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Adams.
Yes, that's true, Scott. Happy to be here today. And yeah, I started out in music. I still am a musician, and I love the creative process associated with music and writing songs. So I kind of started to share that with some of our students here in the district, and definitely
Fantastic.
supporting music programs.
That's fantastic. You might recognize Darryl. He has been standing next to the President of the United States as his very popular Wi-Fi program on wheels, which is really a national model of connectivity. And speaking of connectivity, since I just said the word, one of the things, Dr. Adams, you talk about often is this concept of connectivity, but not necessarily in technical terms. So could you talk a little bit about why you focus so much on connectivity, but first, what does that mean to you?
Well, I pretty much kind of have seen throughout my career and my life that the connections you have with other people, number one, is very, very crucial to your development. And so I sometimes see us relying so much on technology for connections, we forget about that human one-to-one contact. So I want to kind of continue to focus on that and emphasize the fact that everything in life and all of us are connected one way or the other. And specifically in education, our theme this year is connecting the dots to a holistic 21st century education, because we feel like if students are connected with their teacher, parents are connected with the teacher, with the school, also, there's connections with the curriculum, of course, and what you're learning. How does it apply to me, though? That's key. So we want to kind of go a step further and not just talk about technological terms, but also about human terms and those connections that are important to our lives.
So when you started at Coachella 6 years ago now, what were some of those things that you did or put in place to foster some of that connectivity?
I think one of the most important things for us was to find that galvanizing platform or initiative that could bring us all together. And we knew that technology was going to be important in education as we move, forward in the 21st century. And so one of the things we said was, how do we ensure that our students are in the column of the haves and not the column of the have-nots when it comes to technology? And so one way to do that was to go to the public and ask, are you willing to tax yourselves to provide your students with these opportunities to have mobile devices and connectivity? And they overwhelmingly said yes at 67%. So that automatically galvanized the community toward this common goal. We want our students to learn in the 21st century environment. We're willing to tax ourselves to do it. And this is one of the poor communities, possibly in the nation, with pockets of poverty that you wouldn't believe, but they are willing to step forward and ensure that their students have these opportunities. Now it's up to us to ensure that the connectivities they have through technology is also embellished with the connectivity they have with each other, with their teacher, with the curriculum, with their future.
One of the things from kind of my seat at Discovery that when we work with districts often, people don't necessarily think about that communicating to the outside educational stakeholders, the parent groups, the business communities. So when you implemented your one-to-one initiative, what were some lessons that you learned about communicating with parents specifically?
I think the most important lesson that we learned was parents want to be involved. And sometimes they would say, well, Latino parents, and 98% of our population is Latino. Latino parents depend on the school. I don't believe that. I believe they want to be involved. You have to reach out to them, bring them into the process, educate them about how the school works now, this present day, and give them opportunities to be part of the decision making. We've done that. Ever since I've been superintendent, every year is the year of the parent, because we want parents involved. Now, I've created a superintendent parent advisory. We train parents on how to get involved and how to help train other parents how they can get involved. We're training them through our iPad institutes, so they'll understand and know how to use technology, so they can stay a step ahead of their students who definitely know how to use the technology. But I think just bringing everyone into the process, bringing them under the tent, and all working together in concert collaboratively, we've done some amazing things, and we continue to strive to do amazing things in the future together.
Now, Dr. Adams, I mentioned briefly in the intro the Wi-Fi on Wheels program, and I think it speaks to this connectivity, not just from, again, a technical capacity, but kind of opening the world up to the parents at home as well. For those of us who haven't read about that or seen that, could you give us the 30 seconds on what that program's around?
Sure, yes. The Wi-Fi on Wheels program was very crucial for us because one of the things I promised the parents, we promised the parents, was that we would have 24/7 connectivity, 365 days a year, opportunities for their students to be able to access the communication tools, the collaborative tools. And so one of the things we found that we have trailer home parks in our community, and they were not connected or they had spotty connections. So we decided to put routers on buses, park them in the trailer home parks, and allow those students to connect as opposed to coming to the district office, sitting there in the parking lot, or going to Starbucks, sitting there. You can't do that at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning. And so this has provided a way for our communities that are not connected to have connections. And you know, we found out that the battery on the bus didn't stay charged too long, so we put solar panels on those buses, and that's worked brilliantly for us. And now those students, those families have connections.
That's such an inspirational story. Is your background? I mean, you've been a director of HR, an assistant superintendent, and I mean, I think you've been a principal, a teacher of the year. Does that background give you a different sense when you think about this connectivity and the different stakeholder groups? Is there an insight that comes with that?
Yes, you know, a lot of the experiences that I've had, you know, throughout life, you know, I've had my challenges, but I look at them as opportunities. I've learned so much through some of the trials that you go through in life and then in your career. That it just, you know, one of the things I always believe in is that if you are doing the right things for the right reasons, you will have the right results. And so I kind of share that with our students, with our leadership team, you know, with our teachers. And we all believe that regardless of, you know, where we are, we're going to continue to get better.
This is our One Idea series with Dr. Darryl Adams from Coachella Valley Superintendent. Dr. Adams, I personally, every time I speak with you and get inspired about some of the things you're doing, and want to thank you for what you're doing for kids. Thanks for joining today.
Okay, thank you, Scott, and appreciate you having me on today. Thank you so much.
Take care.